The Nvidia 10 series GPUs have been around for the better part of 2 years. And while there have been leaked prototypes, hints from OEMs like Lenovo, and even graphic card component makers suggesting a mid-August announcement for Nvidia's next generation GPUs, is the Nvidia 10 series worth buying? We find out. At the time of recording this video, the Nvidia 10 series GPU prices appear to have stabilized, well, at least in the case of the GeForce GTX 1060 6GB card. It's the bare minimum worth considering from the lineup, as you can play most AAA games maxed out at 1080p, and it falls in the $24,500 to $27,500 price range from established brands such as Asus, Zotac, and even Nvidia's own Founders Edition range. That's far from the case for high-end versions like the 1070 and 1080. Outside of Nvidia's Founders Edition lineup that sees the 1070 at $33,000 and the 1080 at $45,000, you're paying anywhere between $44,000 to $49,000 for a 1070 and at least $62,000 for a full-size GeForce GTX 1080. While the wane in Bitcoin mining hasn't seen a corresponding drop in price, it has resulted in greater availability according to retailers speaking to us, as well as a quick check on Amazon's listings. All variants are easily available across brands. No surprise if you consider reports that Nvidia overestimated demand from gamers and Bitcoin miners alike. It's widely believed that Nvidia will announce new GPUs in August for availability in September. As per sources familiar with Nvidia's supply chain, these will be high-end variants, perhaps under the 11 series branding, such as an 1170 and 1180. It's a claim that a Lenovo representative also stated at E3 2018. That said, leaked benchmarks indicate a possible 2080 Ti version, while an image of a leaked prototype doing the rounds could very well be an 1180 chip. Aside from new pricing and architecture, the new cards from Nvidia will use GDDR6 memory versus GDDR5 on the 10 series. It could also be available in up to 16GB options. Hardware configurations notwithstanding, we can speculate that they could get some added features like ray tracing, which could add another level of photorealism to games. Considering how well 10 series cards perform in most games, it'll be interesting to see what Nvidia chooses to push with its newer range. Perhaps some GeForce Experience exclusive features? Right now, across the range, the only reasonable priced 10 series GPUs are from Nvidia itself, particularly in the case of the 1070 and 1060, though the Founders Edition does have some design quirks. The GeForce GTX 1060 Founders Edition uses Nvidia's favored blower-style cooler and has silver and black accents similar to those of its higher-end siblings. But it isn't all metal and it doesn't feel premium. It looks like a full-size graphics card, but it's actually a bit shorter with the cooler hanging over the end. The silver metal GTX 1070 Founders Edition shroud has more sharp creases and angles than previous generation reference coolers, and it's also simplified inside with a relatively simple arrangement of heat sinks and heat pipes. It's not as efficient a design compared to what you get from its partners such as Zotac or Asus or MSI, though you will have to pay a premium for those in the case of a 1070. With availability seeming to correct itself, we could see a price drop in the coming weeks, though it'll be interesting to see by how much and which OEMs do this. Nvidia has told Gadgets 360 in the past that when new GPUs come in, the older range sees a spike in sales. It's what happened when the 10 series first launched, where the 960 was Nvidia's biggest seller at the time due to a drop in price. At the moment though, sources on supply chain say that it's been superseded by the 1050 and 1030 models. We won't be surprised to see history repeat itself with the 1060 the moment there is a price drop over what is available right now. In most existing games, the performance of 10 series GPUs is pretty good, particularly at 1080p and 1440p with the 1060 and 1070. Throw in regular driver updates with each game, and you have a reasonable line of support that extends well beyond what the competition has to offer. It's unlikely that Nvidia would drop support for the 10 series chips wholesale the moment new GPUs are out due to its wide install base. It's also unlikely that we'll see the new range spot a similar price at launch. Unless you're in the market for a GPU that isn't the Founders Edition from Nvidia, you can't go wrong with a 10 series chip, particularly if you're upgrading from a 9 or 7 series card or if you're building a new machine from scratch. There's enough of headroom if you're playing at 1080p or 1440p. Any higher, such as 4K and beyond, and we'd recommend waiting it out to see what Nvidia has in store with us in the months to come. Reason being, current prices of anything above a 1070 is astronomical, and it's most likely to be bested by whatever Nvidia is announcing later this year. Thanks for watching this video, and for all things gaming, stay tuned to Gadgets360.com.